Hey guys, today I'm bringing to you my YCS Brawlite deck profile. I got home on Sunday and I was really tired and didn't want to didn't want to think about Yu-Gi-Oh for like a day after. So I'm filming this on Tuesday. Very fun event. I think this deck performed extremely well. As you can see, I'm playing Infernoble with the Vanquish Soul engine. So it's a very interesting deck. The combos are really sick, and I'm really excited to get into it. So let's go ahead and get on into the deck profile, and then we're gonna get into the combos a little bit after. So starting off with the main deck, showing up the Vanquish Soul engine, it is 3 Stake Your Soul, 3 Vanquish Soul Raisin, 1 Vanquish Soul Dr. Madlove, 1 Pantera, and then 1 Continue. So the reason you play this engine is that Stake Your Soul as well as Raisin are both 1-card combos. Stake Your Soul reveal a fire, like being Ash Blossom or any of the Infernoble Knights, as well as Normal Summon Raisin, are all 1-card combos, which is very powerful. That means that in the same thing as the Battle and Boxer engine I showed about a month ago, you can also search Raisin with Durandal and still have a 1-card combo you can access with your Infernoble engine. So it's very powerful. And then the supporting cards, which are the Panthera and the Madlove, are also very strong, as well as Continue being a card that can get these out of hand, or as well as if you have the Foolish Burial of this, you can still continue back and be able to have a way to play, which is very nice. We play Pantera in the deck because we wanted an extra target for Raisin the Search that is also just a generic extender. This card is actually very nice because it can special summon itself when you have nothing in the main monster zone. So if you make like an Angelica in the extra monster zone, or you make an Xyz in the extra monster zone, this can still special summon out, which is very useful. Very useful for you to open like these two or these two. Very nice. The engine performed very well. It is a very strong engine because its ability to go second is actually much better than the Battle and Boxer engine. Raisin's ability to pop a column, ability to search Panthera so that if this gets interacted with, you still have a body to summon out. Stake Your Soul getting you just a lot of bodies from revealing a card, which is very nice, and being able to like get Madlove out of the deck as well to guarantee you bodies, so you can link climb and try and break boards that way. Going second, this engine is actually very competent, and I think that is the biggest difference maker between it and like the Battle and Boxer engine I played before. I think this stuff is very powerful, and I'm very tempted to say this is better than like the Battle and Boxer engine, especially with the flexibility in the extra deck that we'll get to when we get into the extra deck. So those 9 are the new engine. I think this is very powerful, and I'm very glad to have played it. Going into the Infernobles, it is the same as always. We're playing 1 of almost everything, except we're playing a new one. We're playing 1 Roland. So I wanted an extra fire monster in the deck to reveal Stake Your Soul to try and get Raisin out, and I made an incorrect meta call. That more people will be on board breakers, more people will be on cards like Droplet, maybe even cards like Dark Ruler. People were on Triple Tactics Talent, which this does very well in countering, but I think for the most part, you can get away without playing this. I think it's completely fine. I was at 45 with Roll and Ring, and I think that you could play 43 very easily without it and just side it. Overall, this stuff works extremely well as well. They're all very good. You actually don't use Renaud as much as in like the other variants, so this is more of a free extender, which is very nice, so that you can not worry if you like have to drop this to extend, and you can still combo very easily. Ogier is also still very good because it can send Raisin to the graveyard, and any way to revive the Raisin, you're able to full combo with your Vanquish Soul cards. Very nice. This engine is still very strong, and like the 1 of count is really good because there are also fires to reveal a Stake Your Soul, so very nice. Of course, if you're playing Infernoble, I think you should be playing the Wanted Seeker of Sinful Swallows engine. So 3 Wanted, 1 Black Witch. This is a change I made from the other deck where I played 2 Black Witch because I wanted room for the Panthera. Since I thought that having the flexibility of being able to search Pantera with Raisin when you opened Madlove, or when you open Continue, or if you're going second when you normal summon and search, if they have like an SP Little Knight or an IP, they chain to try and like get rid of the Raisin, then you still have a body to summon out. That's why I have the Pantera in the deck, and it was very useful this weekend actually. But I think if you don't want to play that, you can play the second or even the third Witch, because the Witch is very good with Stake Your Soul. But overall, this engine is still very powerful. And then still 1 copy of Poplar and the OSS to go with it. Poplar is also a very noticeably good normal summon, especially when you have Stake Your Soul. You can reveal Poplar with Stake Your Soul, and it's actually very good. And then OSS is just OSS. The cards are really good. And then for the standard, 3 Museum, 3 Heritage, Rhoda, Durandal, Almace or Almace and Durendal. Still very, very powerful. You have so many searchers. You can get into your Raisin. You can get into your extenders. You have so many consistency pieces. It's very, very good. And then the one Angel's Ring to go along with the Roland. I think this is more of a side deck piece. Again, I kind of fell into like the trap of thinking that people were going to change their deck lists super often after the ban list, but unfortunately it didn't go that way. I think this should be in your deck, either in the main or side, but I think that in a future event, if I'm playing this deck, I would move this to the side. And maybe play like 2 more hand traps, or just cut the deck list down to 45 or the 43. And then I played 12 hand traps. Funny enough, I didn't follow my own advice or my own thinking. The 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Imperm, and 3 Bystials. So I played Bystials because, one, I expected there to be a lot of Branded and Voiceless Voice at this event as well, which that was actually a good call because I played against 3 Voiceless Voice. And then it's also a Dark to reveal with Raisin, so you have multiple hand traps that work with your Vanquish Soul cards. So you can like reveal this with Raisin, or this with Raisin, or this with Stake, or this with Stake, and you can definitely still combo, which is very nice. The hand traps are actually very, very good. Post side, they're also very good, but I think one of the reasons I had to drop was I got unfortunate in like game 2 or game 3 where I didn't draw much non-engine even when I sided out into like 18 plus, so unlucky. We always go next one. So for the extra deck, we're still playing the 2 Charles, 1 Roland, 1 Angelica, 1 Emperor. Very, very good. Again, this is like the most potent stuff in the inboard because because Baron and Savage got banned. Not as many decks can actually put up the same level of interruption that Infernoble can put up. So it actually made the niche much stronger. Baron wasn't a card we really made. Baron was a card that was like, oh, if you have like Renaud and like you're like in your 3-card combo, right? You can make a Baron on top of your inboard. That didn't really happen as much consistently. So consistently being able to put out the spell trap negates and like the extra spell negate with Ring is actually very, very potent. So this engine is still actually very, very noticeably strong. For the Exceeds, we play 1 Dempsey and 1 Infernal Flame Banshee. Dempsey is actually much less important in this version. Infernal Flame Banshee is the most important card in this variant, just because of its ability to grab Poplar and put any rank 4 into full combo, which is very nice. Dempsey is still pretty decent for like extra combos where you have like extra bodies on board to turn into this to like get extra advantage out of your deck. Overall, I think you can still cut this card to find something else and maybe a better spot. You'll lose out on some very niche combos, but for the most part, I don't think that's like too necessary. So if you wanted to play something like a Typhon or a Dark, it's actually very, very relevant to replace this with that, and I don't think you're out too far behind. Into the links, of course, you play 1 Rock. This is how we're able to convert Raisin into full combo. 1 Anima, because you just replace Link Rainbow with it. 1 Hida. We're in fire format. 1 IP. This is what replaces Baron. This is able to put up such disgusting end boards. You're able to like get Nib, send off a card for Black Witch, make this, and then full combo anyways. It's very good. 1 Promethean Princess, still a very good card to combo through Interruption. So if you get interrupted a lot, you can still go up through Princess and Promethean, and that's how you play out your turns. Apollo, because this is how you beat Nib. And then something that most people may not like is I played 2 SP Little Knight in this deck. Shout out Luke for lending me the 2nd SP for this event. Having such like a more free extra deck, because it's literally just like rock into this, and then you have full combo for your Infernoble stuff. So your extra deck is actually a lot more free in this version, and giving you like room to play like extra SP or playing a Dark, or like removing the Banshee, or not the Banshee, the Dempsey for a Typhon. Stuff like that is actually very, very relevant, and you have so much more generic cards to break boards with. It actually lends itself well to the engine, being able to go second a lot better than it used to. So I played 2 SP, and again, you can play Dark, Typhon, any generic links you'd want to, like Nightmare Unicorn, Access Code even. There's like, or Selene Access Code if you want to do that as well. There's a lot of good options you can do. So the engine extra deck is actually very flexible in this variant. Into the side deck, I played 3 Droll, 3 Nib, because I wanted ways to check the Fire King variant, as well as pick random Rogue with like Voiceless and stuff. And then Nib is for like the Snake Eye deck and generically good. I didn't want to main Nib because I thought I'd play a lot of Voiceless and decks that actually didn't lose to Nib. And this is actually correct, because I played, again, 3 Voiceless. I played some random like Horse Adventure deck that, you know, put up a negate before 5, so it would have been awful. I played Pearly, and I played a couple snakes as well, so those did go in, but for the most part, I think this was a correct call to put this in the side. I think if you're playing like a snake eye deck, this obviously goes in the main, but in a deck like ours, which can only fit 12 hand traps, that this is probably smart. And as well as two tactics, one called by, it can be 3. I probably got really hard punished for not playing 3 because I didn't draw these at all. Most of my losses came to literally just game 3, my opponent having 3 hand traps. And I think if I draw triple tactics or called by in any of those game 3s, I actually either day 2 or I'm able to top this event. And I say that without a shred of irony because just the hands I had could have played through those 2 hand traps normally. But if I had like a tactics or a called by instead of like the Ash Blossom I drew, I would have just been able to power through those boards. So a bit unlucky, a bit unfortunate. I think this is still the correct call because of the amount of hand traps are being played. You can even like maybe put something in like cross out, which can be fine. Personally, I didn't want to because I still wanted 3 copies of Cosmic because I didn't want to lose the Runic, the Runic stun. So I think this was fine because I wanted to like hit the fountain or the skill drains. I did play against Runic stun. I was able to beat that deck pretty easily. Thanks to this. So you know, you can do what you can. I think I just got a bit unlucky, but oh well, that's the game. And then 3 Book of Eclipse. This actually came in huge because I played against Pearly. This card's actually decent in the Voiceless Voice. This card's good in the Cash. It's good into like the Runic, again, the Runic Stun deck. I Book of Eclipse, the Inspector border, and I was able to actually play. So very, very nice. The side deck was actually not too bad. If I drew tactics a little bit more, I think it could have had a better result. But, you know, oh well, we're going to move on to the next one, move on to the next regional. So I had a good time. So there's a deck profile. So now I'm going to go ahead and get into the new combos, which is the most exciting part about this new deck list. So starting off, we have a couple of variations of just the Raisin 1-card combo line. There are 2 combos that you can do. One ends on IP Masquerena 1 Charles, one ends on 2 Charles and an SP Little Knight. So I'm going to show you the combo that ends on the IP Masquerena, then I'm going to show you the combo that ends on the SP Little Knight. So starting off with normal summon Raisin. Raisin's going to use his effect. I'm going to move it back a little bit so I don't have to put the link in a weird spot. Raisin's going to use his effect, search Mad Love. You're going to link off for Rock of the Vanquisher. You're going to use Rock's effect. Rock is going to summon out Mad Love, and you're going to trigger Mad Love effect to go ahead and search continue. And this is why it's very good, because you're getting to a rank 4 while putting a Fire Warrior in graveyard for your original Sinful Spoils, which is why it's very nice. So you're going to activate continue, targeting Raisin, summon in defense, paying 500. You're going to overlay these 2 into Infernal Flame Banshee. Infernal Flame Banshee is going to use her effect, detach, to add Poplar. They're going to use Poplar effect to summon out and grab OSS. So summon out Poplar, grab OSS. Next, you're going to link these 2 into IP Masquerena. You can choose to use Poplar effect to put itself in the spell trap to dodge like heat or anything, but I don't think that's necessary here, so I'm just not going to use it. Activating OSS, sending Rock, which that's very nice that Rock is a body that just stays on the board, and in case you had like Diabell Star to like have to extend that way, say they negated this or they negated the Banshee, that's a very, very good way to extend. Sending those off to go for Infernoble Knight, Richard Edo. Richard's going to use his effect to summon back the Raisin. And then you're going to Synchro Summon into Angelica. Angelica is going to use Angelica's effect to go for Noble Arms Museum. We're going to put Museum here. Museum, we're going to pay 12 to go ahead and add All Mace. So the reason we add All Mace here is because we want to have extra equips in graveyard to trigger our Malgus effect more often. So use All Mace effect to turn itself into Durendal, and use Durendal's effect to turn itself into Roland. Then we're going to use Roland, targeting Angelica, chaining Angelica. It's going to banish. Roland's going to go to the graveyard because of the game mechanic, and then we're going to send Ogier to the graveyard. And summon out our copy of Roland. Then we're going to go Ogier effect targeting Roland, and we think we all know what this does. Museum effect to summon this out. Ogier effect, we're going to send Malgus to the graveyard, triggering Malgus effect, which is very, very nice. We're going to get one of our cards back. So we're going to put these 3 back. And we're going to draw a card. So it's going to put those on bottom. Say we're going to draw a card that's not relevant to our deck at the moment. So let's just say we draw a random hand trap, right? Bestial. Synchro summoning off. Into Charles. Roll an effect targeting Charles to equip. Link 1. Into Emperor Charles the Great. It's very important you put Charles here so that IP cannot be targeted by anima. And then you're going to go ahead and equip. And then you're going to use Malgus effect targeting Charles to equip, so you get a second draw during your opponent's turn, which is very nice. And then you're going to proceed to the end phase. Angelica's going to return. You're going to trigger Roland effect to add Angelic Ring. And then use Charles effect to equip Ring and to equip Oliver. So you have a non-targetable Charles with 3 interruptions on it, being the Spell Trap, and a Pop. And then you can go IP into SP using the Angelica, which is very, very nice. And then Malgus is going to draw you an extra card because you do have the material in the graveyard. You have 3 Fire Warriors here, so you do get another draw. So you're going to have a 6-card hand with 5 interruptions from a 1-card combo. Very, very, very efficient. So that is the line where you make IP. There is a similar line where you make SP, and we are going to rewind the combo to that point. So before this even gets out. So we're going to go to the point where we had Rock. If you remember, the Raisin normal summon had Mad Love, all that stuff. You get to Rock. You have Infernal Flame Banshee. And you have Poplar adding OSS, correct? Correct. So we're going to go here. We're going to have Raisin in the graveyard. So instead here, you activate OSS, sending Rock immediately to go for Richard. Richard targeting Raisin, summoning back, and then Synchro summoning off into Angelica. Angelica effect. Going to add Museum. Going to activate. Pay 500 or pay 1200 to add this. Trade this off into this. You're going to use the effect to go into Roland. Then you're going to use Roland, targeting Angelica, chain Angelica, to go into dumping where is he? Ogier. Summoning out Roland. We're going to use Ogier, target this to equip. Museum effect the special out. Affect the dump. Use the effect to shuffle 3 back, so we're just going to put these back on bottom. Make this into Charles. Link off on this, link Charles. And you can make an SP this way. So this is ending you on without the IP, but you do get to the safety of not having to like risk the IP into SP. So there is that, as well as the last version of this variant. Is a little bit more technical, where again you are at Rock, Banshee, and Poplar. So you are right here. You're going to link Poplar into a link 1 to relinquish Anima. Oop. You're going to then use Poplar effect to put itself into the spell trap. You're going to activate Symbol Spoil, sending the Poplar to then summon your Richard. Summon out Richard. Richard effect bring back Raisin, and then we're going to go off into Angelica. Angelica's going to search as Museum. And then here, we're going to actually link now into our copy of SP Little Knight. So we're going to use SP Little Knight's effect to target the Angelica to banish. And then now we're targeting Angelica, so we're going to chain Angelica's effect to tag out. So we're going to tag out Angelica, sending Turpin to the graveyard to summon out Roland. We're then going to use Museum, paying 12 to add Almace, turning Almace into Durendal. And then we're going to use Turpin effect to special summon. We're going to use Durendal to search our Roland. I think he's right here. Yeah, he's right here. Which then we're going to link off into Charles. We're going to use Roland effect targeting Charles to equip, linking 1 into Emperor. Effect targeting Charles to equip. Museum effect to move up the Charles. Then Roland target the Charles to equip, linking this off into Emperor. Effect targeting the Charles, which this is very, very nice. Because we get Rock follow-up, we get double Charles. We're going to get the effect in the end phase of Roland to go ahead and add Angel Ring. And then we're going to use this Charles to equip 2. Then we're going to have this come back. So, here we can also like search Raisin, special Raisin off Rock, get a card back, and then we can force them to attack the Charles, which protects our SP. So there's a lot of different things you can do in this line, which is very nice. And this is all off of Raisin 1 card. And Raisin is the weaker version of the 1 card. What's the stronger version? Well, that is Stake Your Soul, which is why this engine is actually very, very nice. So let's go ahead and rewind. I know seeing 3 variations of the same combo can be a little much, so you can just rewind through that and watch those over again if you need to. We're going to move on into the 1 card Stake Your Soul combo. And by 1 card, I mostly mean like 1.5, because you need a fire to reveal, but you don't need that fire in any way. You don't need to normal summon it or anything like that. So we're just going to use Stake Your Soul and Ash Blossom to display this combo. So starting off, activating Stake Your Soul, revealing Ash. We're going to summon out our boy Raisin. Raisin is going to go ahead and search Dr. Madlove. So here, you actually just normal summon the Madlove. Madlove effect is going to add continue. We're doing it this way because we want this continue to become an extra body for a special little combo that I've been pretty much keeping quiet for the most part. Thanks, shout out to Chrome Tiger. He's the one who actually found the most efficient version of this combo. I appreciate you a lot for helping me out with this. So we're going to activate Banshee effect to add our little Snake Eye Poplar. Poplar effect to add original Simple Spoil Snake Eye. And then here we're going to right away use continue targeting Raisin the special summon. This puts your opponent in a weird spot because this is now your 5th summon, but you do have original Simple Spoil Snake Eye. So if your opponent decides to Nibiru you here, Poplar is getting put in the spell trap, you're still full comboing anyways. So in order to force a Nibiru, we need an extra body. So we're going to go ahead and link 2 into, where is it? SP Little Knight. So we're going to use Little Knight effect targeting Banshee to banish. And then since we control a Pyro, we can use Banshee's second effect to summon back. So now our opponent is forced Hidden Abyss here because we can make it Appaloosa, and we have OSS, so we have guaranteed way into our combo. So say our opponent doesn't Nibus here. If they do, you can just tag these 2 out and proceed with the combo as normal. But if they don't, we're just going to go ahead and link 4 into Apollo. Poplar effect is going to put itself in the spell trap. Use OSS sending Poplar, and the good old-fashioned lines. Richard comes back, brings back Raisin. Go for Angelica. Angelica's going to add us Museum. We're going to activate Museum effect. Adding Almace. Almace turns into Durendal. Durendal searches out Roland. We're going to use Roland effect target Angelica. Chain Angelica. Sending Ogier. Summoning Roland. Ogier effect target Roland. Museum effect to summon out Ogier. Ogier effect sent Malgus. Malgus is going to shuffle 3 back and draw. So shuffle 3 back. Draw a random hand trap. So it doesn't affect the combo. Synchro off into Emperor. Roll an effect target Emperor. Summon Link Charles. Link Charles equip the Emperor. Malgus effect equip to Emperor. And then you can go end phase. Roll an effect add Angel Ring. Charles effect to equip Angel Ring and Oliver to give them that targeting protection. So for the 1 card combo, you have a line that is safe against Nibiru and still puts up a formidable end board, which is Appaloosa for 3, an untargetable Charles, a pop, a spell trap, and a spell negate. Plus, you get to draw 2 cards off of your Magus because you are putting 6 Fire Warriors and Equip in the graveyard throughout that combo. So you are able to draw 2 cards from it, and you get a lot of follow-up. So this combo is actually very, very nice. This is the main selling point of this engine, being able to put up a combo like this through just a 1 card. That has easy extension because it doesn't use your normal. It reveals very little because you can reveal a hand trap, so a lot of times they'll ash it, and then you can go proceed with your normal combos as needed. So, a lot of you might ask, so why do you play the Panthera? You said that if you draw Raisin and Dr. Madlove, you can search the Panthera. It's very, very nice to have in the deck because you are able to transition these lines, which might be a little bit more dangerous into Nib, into lines that are a lot safer into Nib by having the Panthera in the deck. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. Say you open our boy Raisin plus Dr. Madlove, and it'd be an awkward hand if you didn't have the Panthera, since, you know, Raisin wouldn't have a target to search and you'd kind of just lose a card out of your hand. So let's show you why playing the Panthera is actually very nice. So normal summoning Raisin, Raisin effect, you're adding Panthera, then you're linking 1 into Rock. Rock's effect is going to summon out the... Before Rock effect summon out, we're going to special summon Panthera because you can't control any monsters in the main monster zone. Then Rock effect to summon out the Dr. Madlove. Dr. Madlove effect to add the continue. Why this is very important is because if you end up getting nibbed, you still have a very, very easy to play because you can revive a Fire Warrior. That way you can like activate any of your Durendals or Museum or Heritage to search Renaud and then go right into Angelica that way, which is very nice. So we're going to go ahead to go into Infernal Flame Banshee, activating Banshee effect, detaching. And if you notice that a lot of these lines are basically just very, very similar, trying to get the Banshee, trying to get the Poplar out, Poplar adding us our OSS, and being able to combo that way. And then, of course, like normal, we're going to go ahead and now play around Nib since our opponent let us progress the game state a bit. Go ahead and bring back our Raisin, and then you've seen this before. We're going to go ahead and bring out SP Little Knight. Little Knight effect banish the Banshee, summon back the Banshee. Going to go ahead and make the Apollo, and then it's simple as that. So we're going to go ahead and activate OSS sending the Rock, so we now have a safe place to link off into our Charles. Richard effect bring back the Raisin. We're going to go into Angelica. Angelica effect's going to add us the Museum. Activate Museum. Grab All Mace. All Mace grab Durendal. Durendal grab our boy Roland. Notice you always want to go through it this way so you have material for Malgus. Roland target. Chain. Sending Ogier. Summoning Roland. And then again, it's simple. It's when it gets to that point. Effect summon. Dump the Malgus. Shuffle 3 back, draw a card, which I'm not going to go through the hassle of doing. Go for Charles, and go for Link Charles targeting Emperor in the graveyard. Then Malgus target the Charles to equip. And then you go end phase, you grab the ring, and you grab Oliver. And you still have the same end board of Appaloosa for 3, Charles with the ring equipped. Lots of follow-up, lots of draws, and that combo wouldn't be possible without the Panthera in the deck, which is very, very nice. So it's one of those things where you could play Witch, but I think making the concession for like the extra engine piece that you can search is very nice, especially when it's relevant going second if they try and interact with your normal summon Raisin with like an IP into SP or just a straight up SP banish. So I think that is very nice. Now, you might be thinking, Continue must suck to draw. Right, Continue is a card that is not very good because you're not playing that many Vanquish Soul monsters outside of just the 5. So how do you utilize Continue if you draw it with just Infernoble stuff? Well, if we're lucky, Ogier says send a Fire Warrior from deck to graveyard, so we're actually able to use Continue as a very nice combo piece in your combos. So if you draw like Heritage, Durendal, and a way to search out Ujier, this is a very, very nice thing to have. So we're going to normal summon Ujier. Ujier's effect is going to send Raisin to the graveyard. We're going to activate Continue, paying 5 to summon back the Raisin. Raisin's effect is going to add Pantera, which is another reason why I really like this, because you're able to do this in under 5 summons, and you're also able to bring out a body that actually does something, except like you could bring out Rock Madlove, but Madlove isn't going to search anything, so it's not very good. You're going to bring up into our Infernal Flame Banshee. Very important here, you're going to summon out Pantera now, and then use Banshee, because you're only on summon 4 right now, and then Poplar will be summon 5. So your opponent is going to be in that weird spot to where, yeah, they kind of want us to use Nibiru, but at the same time, we have the way to play around it, which is Little Knight, target this to banish, special summon back, link off into our Apollo, Poplar effects to put itself into the spell trap, then activate this, setting this off, to summon Richardetto. Richardetto will target Raisin or Ogier, synchro summon off into Angelica. Angelica is going to add us the museum, activate the museum, pay 12, add Almace effect into Durendal. Then we're going to go Ogier, target Angelica, chain Angelica now. We're going to send Turpin to the graveyard. This is actually very, very important sequencing. It's actually very easy to mess this up and to get like a little bit ahead of yourself because of the way you would normally do this. So we're going to send Turpin now and summon out the Roland. And pay very close attention here. You're going to activate Durendal onto Roland, activate Turpin effect, special summon, and then you're going to activate Durendal effect to go ahead and search out Mini Roland. You're then going to synchro summon off into Charles. Roland effect to equip to Charles. Make Link Charles. Link Charles effect, target this in the graveyard to equip. And then since you now have the Mini Roland, you didn't use this effect, you have the extra equip to turn the second one live. So museum effect, summon this up, equip Roland to Charles. Then you're going to link off into the second Link 1, which is Emperor Charles. Effect to equip this. And then again, the same thing. You're going to bring back Angelica in the end phase. And then end phase, trigger Roland to add Angel's Ring. And then Angel Ring equip to Charles. And then here you're actually going to equip Malgus because now you can get the draw. And you have a second one if one gets messed with. So, continue actually works as a combo piece, which is very nice. And there are times where you actually like normal summon a level 4 Infernoble, equip, add Raisin, activate, continue, summon the Raisin, and do it that way. So if you have like Durendal and stuff, you could do it that way, which is very, very nice. So these combos are very, very nice, and they're a lot more fluid than you would first expect with two engines that don't seem to have much synergy outside of Raisin being a Fire Warrior. Turns out that's all it really needs to bridge the engines together, especially given a card like Infernal Flame Banshee and especially Poplar. Do a lot of the heavy lifting at turning these two engines together and making them very, very cohesive and very strong. So a lot of these combos, first of all, they play around Nib, and second of all, they don't use Black Witch, which is very nice. So if you can't afford Black Witch, or you don't want to spend the money out for Wanted because you feel like it's going to get hit, a lot of these combos you can do without Black Witch, and it's very, very nice. You could play like maybe a 40 card deck like this, and it's a very good way. You just need the Poplar or the OSS. But I do think the Wanted and the engine is very good because it gives you more targets for Stake Your Soul. Because with Black Witch and with Stake Your Soul, you don't just need fires in your hand to make this live, which is very nice. You can still full combo completely with Wanted and Stake Your Soul, which clearly these cards are just insanely powerful. They do a lot. These cards do a lot. So I'm going to do a combo line, and this will be the last combo line, demonstrating how powerful these two cards of a combo line can make together. So, draw phase, we're going to activate Wanted to add Black Witch, or just have Black Witch in hand, right? Then going into your main phase, activating Stake Your Soul, revealing Black Witch. You're going to summon out Dr. Madlove. Dr. Madlove effect is going to add the Continue. then this is actually this is like a really cool mini synergy between these, like all these engines. So you're gonna go ahead and link off into Rock. Rock is gonna add Mad Love back. You're gonna normal summon the Mad Love. Then you're gonna go ahead and send Rock with Black Witch to summon and activate her effect. So go ahead and set the OSS, which is up here somewhere. There it is. You're gonna set that, and then activate OSS, sending the Black Witch to summon out Richard. And then you're actually not going to use Richard here because you don't have to. You're going to sync her right into Angelica. And Angelica is very powerful because in a situation like this, Angelica is just like, it searches you a Rhoda and a field spell, so it's searching you like 2 to 3 extenders. So you're going to activate Museum Effect, grabbing Almace, and grabbing Durendal. Note that if you have multiple museums in hand, you don't search out Almace first, you just search the Durendal, so you have an extra museum to search out the Almace. So activating Almace effect turning itself into Durendal, and then Durendal effect adding Ogier. And there are certain combo lines as well that you shouldn't be activating Almace into Durendal, because if you're drawing with Malgus in your combo line, you have a chance to draw Museum or Heritage, which could then let you search Almace and you'll be good that way. So do keep in mind that in a vacuum, this is the right way to do it, but in game, keep in mind that maybe you don't want to do this into this. This is just for the demonstration. So then we're going to activate Richard to summon out Ogier. Ogier is going to use his effect to send Turpin to the graveyard. And then another thing to note is here, you are not warrior locked at all. Activating Turpin, targeting Angelica. Angelica is going to send to the graveyard a Fire Warrior. So you're going to send out Gearfried here. You could also do some funny stuff where you send Raisin and then continue back to Raisin, add the Pantera, which is very funny, but you actually don't want to do that because you actually just rather have the body, the Gearfried, which is the extra negate. So here you're going to send Gearfried and then summon out the Captain Roland. So Ogier is a tuner because of Richard effect, which is where the continue comes in, summoning Mad Love for the 3rd time. Since we are not warrior locked, this is very nice. Then we are going to synchro summon into Charles. Roland effect targeting Charles to equip. We're going to link off into Emperor Charles. Emperor Charles, target this to equip. And then Turpin effect, a special summon, because we control a card equipped with an equip card. Then we're going to overlay into Battling Boxer King Dempsey. Dempsey effect to search. We're going to grab Renaud. And funny enough, Renaud doesn't come up in any of these combo lines either, so this is just a free extender if you get in places where you need the extra extender. We're going to summon out Renaud effect targeting Gearfried to add back to hand. We're going to link off into SP Little Knight. Then we're going to use Museum effect to summon up the Charles. Ogier effect equipped to the Charles. Link one into the Link. Effect to target the Charles to equip. Then we're going to banish Almace to summon out the Gearfried. Then end phase, we're going to have this return. Charles effect to equip. Durendal Amalgus. And you have a very formidable board of, again, 2 spell trap negates, SP banish, a monster negate, and a pop, so you have a good amount of interruption. You have a good amount of follow-up coming back because you have Wanted in the graveyard. You could use a draw. You have OSS next turn if you want to save both of them. It's very powerful. So those are all the combos I wanted to show off, just to give you guys a good showcase of like what the new cards can do and how powerful the VS cards are in this deck. I think that they are exceedingly powerful. Cards like Staker's Soul being like the level of combo that it is for just like a normal spell that you can reveal that has synergy with your engine that gets you out of Fire Warrior. I think it's very powerful. If you guys have access to the cards and want to give it a try, I really recommend giving it a try because it is a lot of fun to play. The deck can break boards, the deck can go second. You're putting up in a very formidable combo going first, which is very nice as always. So again, if you are still here by now, thank you so much for tuning in. This was pretty much off the cuff. I just wanted to film this to give everybody out there a little bit of what I've been thinking about and what I've been playing with. So for the most part, thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching this video, and peace out.